What is happening, people? Welcome back. It's your boy D, and this is D's Daily DD coming back at you for another freaking video, right? I've been staying busy trying to get things done. Sometimes life comes at you, but it's part of being an adult, right? Gotta handle your responsibilities first and foremost, right? So let me start off by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, so please don't take it as that. Take it for educational and entertainment purposes only, right? So we got a few things to talk about, guys. Hopefully we can bring some value to your day for watching this video. Again, shout out to all the subscribers. Thanks y'all for holding me down, for rocking with me as we go through this journey, okay? And I'm always trying to learn, always trying to evolve, always trying to gain more knowledge. Because as I look at it, like, wealth is not usually built overnight unless you hit the freaking lottery or something like that, right? But that's super rare. So you want to try to build it over time. And if you can, don't rush to it. You just need to have the knowledge to know what to do before, during, all that. That information will always carry you, further, I think. So that's what, that's why I come back and do these videos. That's why I'm here to try to help people, try to spread some knowledge to people. And yeah, Christmas is right around the corner. Right now, I'm not putting too much energy into the stocks. I'm kind of just kicking back, trying to handle things more in real life, and make my way through. And I'm just trying to keep a positive mindset for 2023 and thinking about what I want to do and set some goals and whatnot. Okay, some new goals. But yeah, I can't complain. Almost at 500 subscribers, guys, since I started this channel. Almost a little, actually, over a year ago, which I'm super happy about, super stoked, right? I took the leap, and yeah, pretty happy with the results because we keep making progress. And I think people, start to see the value in the videos as time goes on more and more, right? So I want to give a big thanks to my sister. One of them, I have two sisters, but one of them sent me this book for Christmas, and it's the 7 habits of highly effective people. And we're gonna get through this. We're gonna read it, a little piece every day, and see what kind of information we can gather from it. And I'll share it with y'all, of course, as I go along through the chapters. So that'll be something to look forward to in 2023. Yeah, I'm gonna be out of town, for Christmas for almost all of next week. So this will probably be the last video for the year, possibly. If not, maybe I'll make one or two next week. But just to let you guys know, I won't be here every day here, but I'm still holding, guys. I haven't budged, I haven't moved nothing. But there is some good information that we need to go over, so let's just get into that information. Okay, guys, let's start off with the screenshot. Okay, put this information together about an hour ago. So let's go over it. So why continue to hold and hodl AMC, right? In my opinion, in my perspective, they are doing the right things as a company to manage the debt, to pay off the debt, and to keep raising money. They've been doing this, guys, ever since, the pandemic started. Since, I'll show you guys right now too, right, the receipts, but from like even in 2019, the end of 2019, they were still raising money and trying to manage their payments and their debt, right? It's a big responsibility. So you need someone like CEO Adam that continues to do that as far as like the business aspect. Okay, maybe he doesn't want the squeeze, maybe he's not trying to cause a squeeze or help us like that, but he is keeping the company alive, and he keeps making the moves in order to manage and keep up with the debt. So they continue to raise money like in the past, and I'm going to focus right now. I'm going to explain to you a major point in the problems that I still see in AMC and why my conviction stays. But there will be heavy movie releases in 2023, and right now Avatar is doing great, right? We keep getting updates, and currently globally it already surpassed 550 million in sales globally. So that's a big chunk. So this movie, they say, will make more money over time. It wasn't just about the opening weekend, and I agree. I went to see it. I loved it. I've been recommending it to people because it's it's an experience, I think, and it brings life to a full circle. A lot of crazy messages in that movie, but The shorts don't have much profit margin left, right? Because the stock is around $5 now, and it made more sense to short from 60 down. So they still haven't covered. We know there's a lot of shares on loan, and we know that, right? They only have that window of like what they're gonna try to get it down to $2, a dollar if they can, but it seems to have really strong support here around $5 as far as AMC. The buying pressure comes in around there. So for me right now, it's like, what's the point? Why do they continue to short when there's not much profit margin left compared to when it was at 50, 40 and down, right? Because they make money, they try to make money as the price comes down. So the numbers and the data still don't make sense 2 years later, of course, right? And I'm explaining that to you. Let me. These are my thoughts, my opinions, what I'm looking at. So, what are the FTDs from? Where are the FTDs from 11/10/22 to 11/25/22? The T plus 35 dates was December 15th. That's when it started, and there was a lot, millions of FTDs that were created, and I think it had to do with the tokenized stocks. It had to do with FTX on 11/11 is I think when the news came out about FTX going bankrupt and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that. So the cost of borrow fee has been staying up, going up, right? It's high. The last update was 33.7% for the cost of borrow fee, and the shares on loan are 176.52 million at the time of this recording, according to Ortex, with the short interest of 19.2% and the days to cover at 6.67 days, which is about a week. That's a long time. Okay, so make this make sense to me, guys, right? So switch this up, watch. On 12/14, there was 350,000 shares available to short, and that's going off of iBorrowDesk, and I'm being generous, right? Like that's the most that we had seen in a minute, but say they had that amount, 350,000 shares available to short, okay? At the same time, you had 3.4 million FTDs that were due on the 15th, okay? According to StoxEra, right? So that's a big imbalance there that I see. And then you go down to the short volume on the 15th alone was 60% shorted, which represented 8.6 million shares this day alone. So how do you only have 350,000 shares available to short, but then you have alone on that day 8.6 million shares that were shorted from the total volume? And at the same time, these 3.4 million FTDs. So how do you short that, and how do you cover this with what the only supposed 350,000 shares available to short? Right. That's my question. Like, how are these numbers still so messed up? How? Question mark. Right. So hopefully you understand what I'm getting at there, and then we go to back to the iBorrowDesk, right? So I told you guys that this was my prediction with the red line, the cost of borrow fee. When the government raises rates, right? When you're borrowing, when you're taking out loans, things like that, it's becoming more expensive. So here we go. Here's the pop again. We're starting to see the cost of borrow fee go up. And then here's what I was talking about, that on the 14th, they had 350,000 shares available to short, according to this, right? So then today there was only 7,000 shares available with the high percentage fee and updated percentage fee of 33.7. Now, what's interesting, it's going on with GameStop as well. So you go over here, same website, just GameStop, and we have it going from 13% to 19.5% with 20,000 shares available. And see, what you notice here is that every single time that they get kicked out, basically they get pushed out by the cost of borrow fee rising, the shares begin to show up. Okay, but in the meantime, right, the fee can keep going up until they start to return the shares, right? That's, in my opinion, what kicks them out, what makes it not worth shorting a stock. So here we right now, right, we currently have a lot of calls right now. There's more at $6. So if we can close above $6 by Friday, we'll be able to get these in the money. Which it's saying 0 shares available. Okay, again, it's done that multiple times. Now, what I want to point out, see again, they were down to 26 shares out of 1,000 right there. So the shorts are desperate, right? They keep trying to hold the price down, but you do not see a lot of shares available. So in my opinion, the apes are still holding, right? Like diamond-handed apes. And what the market makers, I think, are trying to do is just take all the profits they can from here. So it's interesting. Look, the date. So 1/20/23, 411,000. the anniversary, the 2 year anniversary would be coming up around that time. And so maybe that's what they're betting on, people, right? Or whoever is buying these calls. That's what they're looking at. But or maybe somebody knows something. Okay. A lot of times insiders know more than we do, right? So we go there. We're gonna go to the chart. Nothing too much. Just I want to explain that, with the super trend, I was paying attention to that. Right now it's showing the red, right? So until we get the green flip, we can't expect for the price to start making its way up until we bring in some volume has been dry, and it's showing just the last bottom support here, right? So it's kicked back up to that support level. And the real test again, if we can make our way back up to this resistance, macro resistance, it would be by the end of January is where I could see it breaking out of this. So you could expect volume to pick up. And if it breaks this, well, then we can hopefully, right, see some major moves, because that's the reaction that typically happens. So yeah, until we break this trend line, which this window seems to be right here, right? Looking at the dates, that's kind of where I'm expecting some moves, if anything, right? This the third week or fourth week of January, where we can start to make our way back up here, just time wise. All right, that's what I'm paying attention to. As long as we can hold this support, right? All right. See, here's the proof just to show you. On the 15th alone, the short volume was 8.6 million shares. Again, what I'm trying to understand here is how they're able to short all these shares. Do you see the short volume? There's millions. When we see that a lot of times there's only 1,000, 7,000, 50,000 shares available to short, but somehow they're shorting millions of shares every day. And that short volume, see the blue line here, has been the same for a long time, 50 to 60% daily short volume of the total volume. And the FTDs, here we go. Real quick, show you all the red. See, these are the ones. This is why I was expecting some kind of volume, some kind of push. If they were going to deliver, it would have been in these dates. But I don't think they have been delivering, because price action has been just in a small channel, bouncing up and down for AMC, right? But what I always notice is that the yellow line is the FTD spikes you get here. And for a while, it was crossing the price line. The price line is the blue until finally there must have been a T plus 35 where I think they were done rolling them over, right? So they delivered all these FTDs and caused the price to spike up. And it has happened multiple times, right? So right here, when you had the 9.7 million FTDs, the T plus 35 day was the second, and you saw that price before the split. It went from like 9 or 10 to 35 when it got halted. So that's what the reaction I was expecting right now when we had the 4.3 million, but it doesn't really seem to be happening right now. So you saw that spike. So that was my prediction. That part didn't come true as much, but the cost to borrow fee is on the way up. So yeah, that's what I'm noticing right now, right? You start to see, because this whole time through here, the price comes down and you don't see the FTDs cross the price line. But then you start to get here again where we're starting to see the FTD spike and they're crossing the price line. Okay, like it did here. Now it's not guaranteed, but I'm just saying, you never know. That could be a sign for some major moves that are coming. Okay. Now everybody's raising money. It's liquidity's drying up. Companies are trying to manage and budget and everything. So Tesla competitor Lucid raises 1.5 billion, majority from Saudi sovereign wealth fund. So you see that they're raising money, right? There's a lot of companies that are doing it, right? It's not just AMC. So when we got the news that they raised around, I think, like $165 million from the Ape shares, it's nothing new, guys. They've been doing this. I'm gonna point out some of the dates here, like in the past. Let's see, go down right here. So AMC raises 917 million. This is from mid-December 2020. Where are we at right now? Mid-December 2022. Same things happening, right? And then where do we see that big run in January, right? They did it again June 3rd, where they raised 11.5 million or sold 11.5 million shares, I believe. Right here, this was 2 days ago, right? They raised 162 million from Ape shares. And people have been wondering why he did that, right? So why would he dilute the stock when it's so low. And let's point something out here. Today they talked about they have halted Cineworld, have halted, talks have halted with some Cineworld lenders for AMC to acquire some Regal Cineworld theaters, with Apes being partial payment. So the Ape shares that he sold, the 162 million, right, that was partial payment for the deal they were working on. We are disciplined to use our cash or stock only when we are convinced that doing so is in the best interest of AMC shareholders. And there's the information that they paused the talks right now, so there's no deal. People were trying to, yesterday and the day before I saw it, people were just scared. They were just causing FUD. They were just causing panic, right? Oh, why did he sell these shares? Why did he sell these shares? Well, it's because when they do this, guys, they're using it for something that they want to acquire. Maybe, example, a business to want to acquire a competitor, right here. So it says right here, when a company issues new stock, it is usually in a positive light to raise money for expansion, buying out a competitor, or the introduction of a new product. That's all it was, guys, right? No need to panic. Let's just go over some things that, right, the people are saying. We see the news that Avatar surpassed 500 million global box office. I want to know when Sam Bankman-Fried is going to get extradited. Just gonna touch on that. He did sign the extradition papers and will return to U.S. for charges, per NBC. This guy, here, Wall Street Apes, also noticed, right, that, well, hey, there's only 500 shares available to short, but then they shorted another 15 million that day, right? So how's that possible? Please look at the post below from last night. Guess how many shares they found and shorted today. 11.6 million shorted today. So more proof. GME average cost to borrow jumped to 41%. Here is AMC's showing on Ortex 80% cost to borrow average for AMC. This was today. So that is again going back up, which in my opinion could kick the shorts out. Crazy amount of ape volume going through the dark pool exchange, 87.11%. Thanks, Gary Gensler, for the new off exchange record for ape. You're on track to hit 100% by 2023. Here's again what I caught on to a couple weeks ago was that, well, when you have the cost to borrow fee, this is for GameStop, start to see it go up and the days to cover are extremely high. That's what puts pressure on the shorts to want to cover, because it puts more fear on their side. All right, cost to borrow. Where are the 1-for-1 tokens that allegedly were owned by FTX and whatnot? And yep, that's what we got. Cost to borrow 81.2%. So look out for that. Former FTX boss SBF agrees to be extradited to US, says lawyer. So there's no date yet, but he is accused, right, of committing one of the biggest financial frauds in US history. And I hope he comes back to the US and spills the beans, right, and gives us more information on these 1-to-1 tokens or whatever went on in there. Okay, so paying attention to that, and we'll have to see what happens with that. But that's the information I got for you guys. I hope you're all ready for Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year, like I said. So not let anything, affect my mood or anything negative like that. I'm gonna just plan ahead and stay positive and see what we can do and bring to the viewers, to the channel for 2023, and how we can continue to push and grow, together, because we are retail investors. I'm like one of y'all. I'm not, any expert. I'm not no financial institution. I'm not anything like that. Just a retail investor, everyday person like you. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy your Christmas with your friends, family. Get to relax for a bit, and think about what you want to do as well personally for the new year. But it's a good time to kind of reflect too. So thank you so much, guys. Catch you in the next one.